This level of a performance should not be acceptable at any point in life. Should not be. Specifically with the campaign that we are incurring at this point in time. Arne Slot was in the Champions League. We were in the FA Cup. We were in the Carabao. We are in the Premier League. We are going to win it. Mathematically, we are still not sure. But we should ideally win it. Given that Arne Slot doesn't go with the same squad again and again on a recurring basis, where is the faith in the bench? Where do people like Harvey Elliott, who had more chances, who created more in the second half, where are people like Wataru Endo, who might not be the most quickest player, who might not be the best passer on the ball, but where are these people being incorporated? I understand Arne Slot wasn't backed into getting Jan transfer signings, and I've been voicing it since the longest that we need players in the Jan transfer window. We need to replenish that bench with quality players. It doesn't work like that. You can't keep everyone happy in a squad. You need quality on the bench as well, right? Look at Chelsea, bro. Chelsea wouldn't bottle it like the way we did. 1-0 up, bro. And we weren't playing the game from the very beginning. It was all a shit show. We were slow. We were pathetic, we lacked intensity, and literally Fulham were running all over us. Ryan Sessegnon started on the right wing position after years and he balled it. He was a complete baller on that pitch, running all over Robertson on the right flank. Right, Soboslai is trying to tire the opposition down. Within the very first few minutes, I could see that Liverpool is going to struggle. There was no end point. We started from point A, but we could not find that point B in the first half. And that was the most frustrating situation for a fan like me to incur. I'm not going to fucking sugarcoat the situation just because we are winning the league. This sort of a performance has been happening since the longest, right? There's a reason why I put that chart on top of my head. Fulham, Everton, Newcastle, PSG, Southampton. Okay, we fared well. Salah scored penalties in that, I think. PSG, first leg. Newcastle, that game we in the Premier League, the reverse fixture, yeah, we sort of played well. Man City, we were really good. Villa, we were absolutely astounding. It was shocking to see the way we performed there. It's not just this has been a trajectory in the last 1.5 or 2 months. This has been a pattern in motion. It's a snowball effect. If people are not going to wake up to this right now, we might just lose a couple of more fixtures. It might just happen. We need to wake up. I don't know why people are taking it so lightly, like they've already made us the destined Premier League champions. Right? People are being brainwashed. Fans need to have their own opinions. There needs to be a rationale. For people who are new to this, follow me. Right? I am completely unfiltered with my opinions. Jota is physically inept to deal with players in the Premier League anymore. It's because he's getting a run of fixtures now. He's not been injured in the last 2.5 months. He was injured before that, mind you. He gets 2 major injuries in every season, right? And today against Lukic, Bassi, these players completely occupied him. And they were literally having a year or two to themselves to enjoy that mobility, to enjoy that space, to find that person to pass the ball on to. Fulham were enjoying the ball on possession earlier on. We scored the goal out of nowhere. It was individual brilliance thanks to McAllister. But even the entire midfield had a shit game. Soboslai, Gravenberch was utterly slow. Atrociously slower than usual. And it's been, again, he's been showing it. The warning signs are there. This guy needs rest. Mohamed Salah is a lone ranger who's played the most minutes. And he's flunking it. He's been flopping it out. He's not able to deal with the intensity. Forget one-on-one take-ons. He's forgotten how to even contest for balls, bro. He's literally winning only 20% of his duels in totality. If you look at his statistics from the last couple of games, he's not able to deal with the intensity of people like Robinson, right? Even people like Nuno Mendes, people like Lewis Hall. These guys are literally pocketing Mohamed Salah. Right, he might give you a key pass or two like he did in the ending minutes. Harvey Elliott, again, not able to generate that power. But again, the onus of performing is should not be in the second half. We are not going to be known as the comeback kings. That tag can be left to Man United. We do not want to do that in every situation. It's fine in 2, 3, 4 games in a season, but not on a recurring basis. This has been a consistent loop. And I'm sick and tired of watching it. Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Curtis Jones, absolutely atrocious, bro. And I knew it. I mentioned this in my last video. You can go and check it out. That he was uncomfortable in that right back position. Doesn't matter if his passing was 100%. Statistics lie. Statistics aren't really the eye test. You need to watch these players on the pitch to determine what the real situation is like. Curtis Jones, Konate, Van Dijk, complete and abysmal performance in that specific moment where he conceded the third goal. He needs to be blamed for that. Robertson, again, unlucky with the ricochet. But again, that pass, literally, Soberslai, Robertson, were they playing for Fulham? Why were they handing the passes out to Fulham? Why were they misplacing passes on a recurring basis? Soberslai lost possession 8 times in the first half. Thank God he was taken out in the 55th minute. Nothing offering, nothing doing. Even McAllister, on a consecutive basis, losing the balls, not able to mark his men. In the second half too, when we were creating chances finally because of the substitutes, it replenished some of that energy. Gakpo has not been anywhere near the form that he showed before the injury, unfortunately. And today I saw traces of him trying to take on Castagne, and there was a time when he actually beat him, but then he slipped. Right? You need players to be acting in amalgamation. There needs to be some sort of a merging of the build-up, right? They need to be in tandem. They need to be connecting the dots. This is not a performance that we should be proud of. We got a reaction. We needed a reaction in the second half. We got it. But how much are we going to expect from people like Harvey Elliott, who are not even getting those minutes? Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes at max. Bro, you need to give these boys time to play, bro. Players like Chiesa especially. And Nunez, again, the moment he came on, he was actually laying the ball off, right? In a deeper position, he was trying to hold up, trying to head the ball down. And it was working till a certain time. But the moment he had to make a run, bro, mistimed it. Mistimed the first time. And the second time, the moment he got on the ball, he was offside. Right, Darwin Nunez has been a problem. But then in games like such, when you know Jota is not physically up to this level of action, you need to start Darwin Nunez. You need to bench Soboslai again. You need to have him in shackles so that he can't get out from that bench. He cannot get up from that bench. You need a Harvey Elliott as a number 10, bro. You need to be making these substitutions. And please play an Endo next time, for God's sake. Play an Endo instead of a Gravenberch. At least let McAllister be there. We don't want these people to look nervous at all. Start Tsimikas against the likes of Robertson. Even though Robertson per 90 wasn't that bad. But again, those frugal errors, those few mistakes were critical to the way we lost the game today. If it weren't for that first half, we would have won it for sure. We needed that confidence of not being 2 goals down and then trying to come back on. That is a huge task to overcome. I noticed something about Kelleher. I don't know if people have observed it or not. Again, people are going to fucking call me out for analyzing or being too critical of players. But I'll tell you one thing. This is the reason why Kelleher is not our number 1 keeper. All his passes were short. Maybe in moments he was trying to play long, but all his passes were short. Fulham, again, love to press, love to get onto the opposition. Kelleher, underconfident, not even good with the passing when it came to long range, not able to find the men ahead, seemed extremely passive with his demeanor, his body language, to be honest. And I'm not really going to blame him. I'm not blaming him, but I know the reason why he is not our number 1 keeper. And these are the reasons. And I'm sure that Arne Slot and the assistant managers get to see this in the training ground. I'm extremely disappointed with the result, to be honest. And second half, again, I was happy that we got a reaction. But again, Harvey Elliott had 2 opportunities, couldn't put enough power on that boot. Darwin Nunez had an opportunity. Chiesa had an open chance, but I'm not going to blame that lad. I think that lad deserves more minutes, as simple as that. I'm hoping that against West Ham we get to see some sort of magic, some sort of consistency, some sort of momentum. Only if we get momentum in our hands for some phase is when we're actually going to be on top. And we need to ensure that this 11-point gap is intact. We could have been 14 points clear. 14 points clear. I know we might just win the league. I know the chances of us winning are really high. But I don't want us to bottle it and embarrass ourselves.